You are 17 years old, Osaka. No money, no future, no name, just another face the city has already forgotten.
One night, three men corner a stranger in an alley. Everyone walks away. You don't. The next morning, a man in a dark suit finds you. He watched everything. He says one word. Interesting.
You're brought to an office above a fish market. Tea is placed in front of you. It's not an offer, it's a test. You become a Jukin, an associate. Not inside yet, but the door is open, and you walked through it. First job, stand outside a pachinko club for 6 hours. Don't move, don't speak, just watch.
They pay you 3,000 yen, less than a McDonald's shift, but you come back the next day anyway.
A month later, you're handed a sealed envelope. You don't know what's inside. You're told not to open it. You don't.
You deliver it. The senior man gives one slow nod. In this world, that nod means everything. You deliver it. The senior man gives one slow nod. In this world, that nod means everything.
6 months in, you're called into a room with no windows, a cup of sake on the table, a silent agreement waiting to be made. You take the oath. Your voice doesn't shake. Even you are surprised.
The tattoo is done by hand, needle by needle. You don't make a sound. Pain is part of the contract. You are now a kumin, a full member. For the first time in your life, you have a family, a real one. But you are at the very bottom, 7 ranks above you, and each one will cost you something you're not ready to give.
Your first real assignment. Collect a debt from a shop owner. No hitting, just stand next to him and say nothing.
You stand. You say nothing. The owner pays within 2 minutes. You understand. Power isn't always in the fists. You are promoted to Wakagashiraho, junior officer. You are 19. 3 recruits answer to you now. You teach them what you were taught. Stay silent. Observe. Never open the envelope. The money grows. 200,000 yen a month. You rent a real apartment for the first time in your life. But with money comes responsibility. One of your men fails an assignment, you are the one who answers for it. You're called to the senior. You expect punishment. Instead, he says, fix it. Yourself. You fix it. Hard, fast, no extra words. The senior hears about it. He nods for the second time. 1 year later, you are introduced as Wakagashira, a full officer. The Oyabun himself is present at the ceremony.
The Oyabun looks at you for 3 seconds, in silence. That means more than anything anyone has ever said to you.
Now you have your own district, your own operations, your own cut from every business on that territory. You sit in a restaurant. The owner brings the best dish himself, no order placed, simply because you are who you are. Then, one night, your phone rings. One of your men, his voice is shaking. Our operation was hit. Outsiders. You put on your jacket. You walk into the night. Face calm. Inside, ice cold. This is the first time anyone dared to enter your territory. It will be the last. You found them. Young, stupid. They thought you wouldn't. You found them in 48 hours. You don't take revenge with violence. You take their territory. Silently. A lesson for everyone watching. Word spreads fast. People say your name differently now, with a pause before it. The Oyabun calls you personally. First time alone. Small room. Few words, enormous meaning. He offers you a new rank, chateau, advisor, his right hand. You step forward. Now you sit in meetings where people's fates are decided. Not on the street anymore, at the table. You stop counting money. You simply know there is always enough. But power attracts envy.
One senior officer looks at you differently. You notice. You say nothing. Then a major deal collapses. Everyone looks at you. Someone leaked information. Not you, but prove it. The Oyabun is cold. For the first time, he doesn't nod. That is worse than any punishment.
You begin your own investigation, quietly, no help, through the nights, like the very beginning.
10 days later, you have a name. The same officer who looked at you differently. You were right.
You bring the evidence to the Oyabun. Place it on the table. Say nothing. Let the facts speak. He looks for a long time. Then he stands, places his hand on your shoulder, the first time in all these years. You walked out of that room a different person. Not higher in rank, higher in trust. And that means everything.
2 years pass. You are the Oyabun's right hand. Everything goes through you. Every decision, every deal.
But the Oyabun is aging. You can see it in how he holds his cup, in the pauses between words, in his eyes.
A quiet war begins inside the organization. Everyone wants to know who comes next. No one says it out loud.
2 candidates, an old officer, experienced, brutal, and you, young, sharp, trusted.
The old officer comes to you, offers an alliance. You listen, you nod, you promise nothing.
3 days later, he tries to set you up before the Oyabun. You already knew. You were already ready. The Oyabun calls you both in. 1 room, silence. 2 men. One walks out with power. The other walks out with nothing.
You speak last, short, no emotion, only facts. The old officer loses his composure. That is his mistake. The Oyabun releases the old officer. Permanently. In the Yakuza, that means one thing. He no longer exists. You stay alone with the Oyabun. He looks at you for a long time, then says, "Prepare yourself."
You don't ask for what. You already know. And for the first time in years, your hands are trembling.
The transfer of power begins. Quiet, gradual. Each day you take on a little more.
People in the organization feel it. Some pledge loyalty early, others disappear. The rest wait and watch.
One night the Oyabun invites you to his home, not the office, his home. Over tea, he says everything he never said out loud.
I chose you not because you are strong, but because you know how to wait. That is rare.
A month later, the Oyabun gathers the entire organization. First time in 10 years. Everyone knows this is the last time.
He enters slowly. The hall goes silent instantly. 1,000 people. Absolute silence. He speaks briefly. He says your name, looks at you, and bows. The Oyabun bows to no one. The entire hall drops to its knees. All of them, at once. You stand, alone, in the center. You are 29 years old. You are the new Oyabun, the youngest in the entire history of the organization. The first thing you do? You walk back to that alley in Osaka, where it all began, alone, no guards. The alley hasn't changed. You have. You stand there for 10 minutes, in silence, remembering that 17-year-old. Power is not freedom. You only understand that now. Every decision you make costs someone their life. The first month at the top is the hardest. Enemies test you. Allies watch. Everyone is waiting for a mistake. You don't make one, not because you were perfect, but because you spent too long learning from the mistakes of others. The old Oyabun dies quietly, in his sleep, 3 months after the transfer of power. You find out in the morning. You don't cry in front of anyone. You go to his empty office, close the door, sit in the dark for an hour. Then you stand up, open the blinds, light fills the room. You sit down at his desk. Now it is your desk.
You think about that boy with no money, no name, no future, and the long road from that alley to this chair.
The journey took 12 years. Every rank cost something. But you made it. And now you know there is no way back.